Every ad you've ever seen about trading was selling you the same photograph. A beach, a laptop, a car that cost more than a house. Fabio Valentini, a trader who competed in the World Trading Cup with a public, verified track record over hundreds of trades, and who now runs a platform built around professional traders, said it straight. 99% of the advertising sells trading as Wi-Fi money. This video is the other photograph, the one with the actual numbers in it. It gets dark before it gets genuinely hopeful, and the hope survives the numbers, which is the only kind worth having. Start with 100 people who open a trading account this month. Real studies have followed exactly these people, and this is the part that makes the numbers impossible to argue with. Regulators and researchers with every single account in entire markets tracked for years. Not surveys, not opinions, not somebody's YouTube poll. Complete trading records, every fill, every fee. The European regulators' own analysis of broker disclosures. Between 74 and 89% of retail accounts lose money. Across 35 major brokers last year, the average was 86%. 86 of our 100 red. France ran the cleanest version of this experiment. 15,000 active traders followed for 4 full years. 89% lost. The average losing account gave back almost 11,000 euros. 4 years is past every excuse. Past beginner's mistakes, past bad luck, past I'm still learning. And here's the strange part. Almost nobody stops. Of experienced traders who are provably losing money, 50 or more trading days, records in the red, 95.3% were still trading 12 months later. The machine doesn't need you to win. It needs you to continue. Brazil went deeper. They isolated the persistent ones, people who day traded more than 300 days. The dream says persistence pays. The data says, of those who refused to quit, 97% still lost. Grit, pointed at the wrong method, just buys more losses. 1.1% of them earned more than minimum wage. For the hours they worked, the median survivor would have been paid better stacking shelves. So why does anyone still believe? Because trading isn't sold as a profession. It's sold as the rebel way out. No university, no boss. Prove your friends wrong, prove your family wrong, get rich from your bedroom. That story recruits precisely the people least equipped to survive the statistics. Because if you're in it to prove somebody wrong, you can't afford to look at the numbers that say you probably will be. The identity is the trap. The staircase was never the enemy. It's what funds the account you won't blow, and the feed finishes the job. Remember the 95% who kept trading while losing? They don't post. The blown accounts don't post. The people who quietly went back to a salary don't post. Your feed is a graveyard where only the survivors are visible, so every scroll tells you winning is normal, and the 86 who lost simply don't exist on your screen. That's not evidence. That's a filter with a marketing budget. Maybe you're thinking, that's why I'll get funded instead. Someone else's capital, someone else's risk. The industry's own numbers across hundreds of thousands of funded challenge accounts. Roughly 1 in 10 passes the evaluation. Only about 7% of everyone who ever paid for a challenge receives a single payout. And the average payout, when it comes, is around 4% of the account's sticker size. The account said 50,000, the check says 2. So who actually wins? Taiwan answered that. Every trade on the whole exchange, 15 years. Under 1% of day traders were consistently profitable. Not 1% of beginners, 1% of everyone, forever after fees. 15 years is long enough for every lucky streak to die and every real edge to prove itself. And what proved itself was almost nothing. That's the honest denominator under every screenshot you've ever been shown. And the screenshots lie in a specific, documented way. One famous 500% year was 3 accounts. The 2 that blew up were quietly deleted. The one that survived became the marketing. Summed honestly across everything he ran, it was a 50 to 60% year. Still excellent, just not a miracle. And miracles are the product being sold. Here's the number the ads never show you. Risk-adjusted return. 150% with a 45% drawdown loses on every professional metric to 40% with a 3% drawdown. Because the first trader dies the next bad quarter, and the second one is still there in year 10. Professionals don't rank returns, they rank survival. Fabio Valentini competed in the World Trading Cup, and this is what he argues about his own industry. Ranking traders by net performance is a bad metric. Flip the same leaderboard to risk-adjusted return and it reshuffles. The fireworks fall, the survivors rise. Every leaderboard you've ever been shown was sorted by the number that sells, not the number that lasts. Calibrate the ceiling. A hedge fund that compounds 20 to 40% a year, every year, is in the top 1% on Earth. The single best fund in recorded history, the one that hired mathematicians instead of gurus, netted about 39% a year. So when a screenshot implies 1,000%, you now know exactly where it sits relative to the best humans who have ever done this. If that flip were real, the biggest funds in the world would throw billions at whoever did it. They don't, because it isn't. And even the real edges, the genuine ones, have a shelf life. An edge is a crowd that hasn't noticed something yet. The moment a strategy goes viral, the crowd arrives, and the opportunity gets eaten by the people executing it. Opening range breakouts got famous. Give the crowd a few years and the easy version decays. This is why buying someone's strategy is buying a photograph of where an edge used to be. Nobody sells you an edge that still works at scale. They sell you the museum postcard. Here's what the man himself was doing before any of it worked. Night shifts, server monitoring, midnight to dawn, and saving the money to fund the account. Not because trading was paying, because it wasn't yet, and he knew it. Because trading is not a cash flow business. And this one sentence explains more blown accounts than any strategy flaw. If you need to withdraw every month to eat, you decapitate the only force that ever made traders rich: compounding. Identical returns, identical skill. The account that gets harvested monthly stays flat forever, and the one left alone bends upward. The people who started with $1,000 in the best fund in history ended with hundreds of millions. Not because the yearly number was magic, but because nobody made them spend it. A small account isn't too small to grow. It's too small to live from. Those are different problems, and the industry sells you the confusion between them. Now the turn. Because inside every one of those brutal studies, the winners were visible too. And what separated them was never talent. The 11% who finished France's 4 years in profit sized small enough that no single month could remove them from the game. The professionals in every study ran win rates of 40 to 55%, coin flip territory, and won anyway because their winners were structurally bigger than their losers. The consistent ones treated the first year or two as tuition, not income. Every one of those is a decision, not a gift. And here is what the survivor's risk actually looks like. Smaller than you think. 0.5% to 1% of the account on a single trade. A hard daily stop, usually 2 losses and done. And a win rate between 40 and 55%. Coin flip territory, because they never needed to be right often. They needed to be unkillable. Their habits are just as unglamorous. Every trade journaled, including the embarrassing ones. The same position size for months until the data, not the feeling, earns the increase. A weekly review, same hour every week, and a written number for what enough means this year. 4 habits, no secrets, nothing you couldn't start this week. The whole game fits in one line of arithmetic. Win rate times average win minus loss rate times average loss. If that number is positive and you can survive the losing streaks it implies, you are a trader. If you can't fill it in from your own records, you don't have a trading problem. You have a measurement problem, and measurement problems are fixable this week. So here's the audit, and it costs nothing. Tonight, pull your last 50 trades, all of them, not the ones you like. Average winner, average loser, win rate. Fill in the expectancy line and look at the number that's been running your account while you were watching win rate. 50 trades of truth beats 5 years of feeling like you're close. Most people watching this will never do it, which, if you think about it, is exactly how the 97% stays at 97. And the two happiest endings in this entire story? Neither is a Lamborghini. A trader who out-earned his own mentor 20 times over walked away from the institutional desk, went back to a small retail account, because evenings with his daughter were worth more than the extra zeros. Another never chased rich at all. His target was a life where he wakes up in front of the sea. He's there now. They both won because they both defined winning before the market defined it for them. So yes, 97% is real, but it isn't a lottery you lost. It's a filter. A lottery you can't study for. A filter you can. Go back through every number in this video and notice that not one of them measured intelligence, luck, or talent. They measured position size. They measured whether losses were planned. They measured whether someone could wait 2 years. Every single thing the filter selects on is sitting on your side of the keyboard, and every one of them is a decision you could make before the market opens tomorrow. The man who's watched more traders fail than almost anyone alive ended his interview with 4 instructions, and they fit on an index card. Validate your strategy in simulation before it costs money. Only execute what you've validated. Apply real risk management, and keep your expectations honest, because you will pay for the wrong ones at market price. The beach photograph was never the reality of trading, but a quiet, compounding, survivable edge built by someone who decided what enough looks like. That one's available. It was available the whole time. If you want the honest version of this game every week, the numbers, the process, no beach photographs, you're in the right place. The quiet year starts whenever you decide it does.